today we're gonna update these nails. As you can see, I've already removed the product and I'm getting right into it. I start off with applying my prep all over the nail plate. The manicure has been performed. The nails have been dehydrated, so now I'm starting with product application. The step before was my prep. This is my bond, and as you can see, I am very gentle with applying this because I don't want it to touch any of the skin. Very carefully applying this all over the nail plate, and all of these products can air dry. Look at your brand, at what you should use, what you need. It's very different, but for my brand it's prep bond, and as you can see here, my base coat. I take a little bit of base and I really try to brush it into my nail plate. All the scratches we've made when prepping our plate, the product has to go in there for the perfect attachment. So as you can see, I'm really pushing it into the nail plate, making sure I get every edge, every corner of the nail, every little cavity. Just make sure your whole nail is covered. If you don't apply this step thoroughly, I don't know if I said it right, probably not, but if you are not very precise with the step, your product will lift. Base coat is like it says, it's the base of your nail. So brushing it all in, making sure I get every part of the nail. You don't want to start building with your base coat. You just really want to apply a thin layer. Very careful not to touch the cuticle area or the skin. Now, this nail needs to be restored, as you can see, so I will use an upper form for this. As you can see, you have to measure it. This one fits perfectly. I take my acrygel, place it in my nail form, and with my brush and fluid, I will apply it into the form. There's gonna be a whole nother video on how to apply upper forms, so stay tuned for that. For now, I place it. I make sure it's pressed down nicely. Don't press too hard. You just wanna press down nicely. And when you are sure it's in the right place, I cure it, just the bottom part of it, just at the cuticle area, making sure it's all attached. It is, and then I will clean up under there. That's why you only want to cure the cuticle area, so that you can still work this. Put the product back a little bit, making sure it's nice. Keeping my lower arches secured. Just checking. And then I have hardened it in my lamp. Here you can see me taking off the form. The nail is done. I take my e-file with a drill, with a bit, and then I will remove that upstanding little piece there, because we want a smooth application. Be careful not to touch the natural nail. We only want to remove the out-sticking product. So that's what we're doing here. When it's nice and smooth, I will file the shape, making sure not to file away the lower arches, keeping the file in a straight line. That's very important, especially when you do a square, keeping your file in a straight line. Don't go corners, just make sure it's at a 90-degree angle. So we want to make the sides nice and even, taking away the dust so that you can really see what you're doing. And as you can see, only the top needs to be filed now. So I will make sure this part is very smooth so that I have the perfect application canvas. And here I will file the free edge into shape and a little bit shorter because it's way too long. Taking off the dust again, and now we are on to our white acrygel application. So I've applied little bits of it, and now I will start from the top because this is going to be a baby boom kind of style. You don't need to apply this on the apex, just on the top. You want to make sure it's nice and even there. Make sure you touch the sides. You have the nice thickness and the free edge. And gently pat the acrygel to where you want it to be. Make sure the product is distributed nicely. Keep your brush wet enough. If the product starts sticking, you need more of your fluid, so keep an eye on that. We want the application to be as perfect as possible. And now we will fade it out a little bit so that our transition is gonna be very smooth. So really trying to perfect that, and then it's time to harden it. Next nail is gonna be the same. There's a little part in there. You can always take your pusher or your wood stick to remove it. Tap it again. And just really make sure it's all distributed evenly. When all of the product is done with the application, you need to take off the tacky layer. I do so by using a wipe with some alcohol. My alcohol is 70%, so that's good. You can also use cleanser, no problem. Then I will take my 180 grit file and I will start by filing the sides. I keep my file straight to the nail. I will file my free edge, also keeping my file very straight to the nail, 90-degree angle. And then I will just gently over the top of it, don't put too much pressure on it or you will file away the white part. I will gently start smoothing out my acrygel. Keep in mind the end product we're going to apply, we don't want to file it. So this is all about creating the perfect finish later on. Now we're off to perfecting those three edges and sides, making sure things are looking perfect. And now it's time to remove every dust particle. I will do so by getting a wipe and a stick, putting the wipe around it, sprayed it with alcohol, and now I will just remove the dust from the sides and the cuticle. Gently wipe it by the area. It will take it away easily. This way you won't get any problems with the product application. So make sure everything is removed and it's looking nice and clean. Now off to the fun part. This is Gelpolish. I've taken a few colors. Here I start off with yellow, applying it with a thin brush around the cuticle. I have faded it and now I put a little bit more there just to get that nice color on it. Fade it out a bit and then off to the next color. This is a nice baby blue. I was going for a spring vibe, a little bit pastel. So I went with this baby blue here, putting it around the cuticle area, fading it out again, making sure it's covering enough. And we have a pastel purple, a lilac. Again, blending it. You don't want to have an edge of product because you will probably see that with a product application that's going over this. So really keep an eye on blending it out. And for the thumb, I went with this beautiful neon green. I love this color with the white. So again, really making sure it's all faded correctly. I have hardened this product and now it's time to apply our next beautiful product. This is a gel that I have mixed myself with glitters and flakes. I apply my first layer onto the nail and I won't harden it. And here you can see I have applied more of the same product and I let it flow onto the first layer so that it levels out evenly. Put a bit too much on there, taking that away, and then with my fine liner I will perfect my application. Really making sure my shape is nice and crisp. And then hardening it in the lamp. Next nail, same thing. First applying my wet layer, not hardening it, making sure I get every part of it, applying my bead to the apex, distributing the product, and with my fine liner, again, I will perfect it. Here you can see me holding the nail upside down. That's part of the leveling process, very important to do. If you feel like you're losing control over the product, or if you want it to have the perfect shiny finish or the perfect reflection, you have to keep it upside down. I've hardened that nail as well, and now for this nail, same steps all over, leveling it, perfecting with the fine liner, making sure not to touch any skin or cuticle, but really getting that crisp shape in there so that we don't have to really file in the end. Perfecting everything and hardening it. And the thumb, same thing, all over. Putting my bead onto the apex and letting it flow by itself. This is sped up, but as you can see, it's flowing nice and evenly. With my fine liner, again, perfecting it, making sure to get the ingrowing points, which are often the weakest. And here you can see everything hardened. Now we will have to remove our tacky layer again, because it's time to perfect these. Again with a wipe with some alcohol on it. And filing my free edge again. The sides, keeping my file straight. We don't want to remove any lower arches or file the nail too small. We want a sharp square. Here you can see me slightly touching the top of the nail to perfect any bumps on it. And what's necessary is now the perfecting of the C-curve. As you can see, the nail is still a bit too thick and uneven at the bottom. Little tip for you is get a Sharpie and draw those lines. That way you can really see when filing what you're doing. As you can see, they are too thick, so I will take my E-file with a small bit, and at forward I remove this. Gently removing it, keeping an eye on what I'm doing. Removing the dust and really perfecting that C-curve. And as you can see, it's already looking much better, much thinner. Keep on checking it, looking great. And then for the next one, in small steps, gently correcting the bottom of it. I do this with every treatment, no matter the shape, almond, oval, square, doesn't matter. The C-curve will always be taken care of. For the thumb as well, really thinning out the free edge because we don't want a thick looking nail and we also want to remove the natural nail from it. Now, filing to perfection. This doesn't need a lot of pressure, just getting the black of it. And that's looking great. Again, removing every bit of dust. Really be very precise with this, because when we apply our top coat and there's dust left, it will run into the cuticles right away. Be precise and take away every bit of dust. Pushing back my cuticle, because we want the smoothest application we can get. So just pushing it back, and here applying our top coat. Don't put too thick of a layer because it will run, but also don't put too little on it, because then it won't level out perfectly. If you're having trouble with applying your top coat, do it one nail at a time or maybe two. You can do all of them at the same time, but really make sure to level them. I think in this video I did it 2 nails at a time and the thumb separately. Make sure you get every corner of it, wipe away excess products, and careful, gently apply all over the surface. And here you can see the finished product. It's nice, it's shiny, the reflection is perfect, the length is very good. So this was my Baby Boom glitter color fade tutorial. I hope you learned something and good luck.